The mechanism of this imprinting, according to the human design system, is that there are three crystals of consciousness that make up your human apparatus. The personality crystal is said to reside up here in the head center, and it is what is known, like it's what's conscious about you. It is who you think you are. It's what you're going to tend to recognize and think you know about yourself first. The design crystal is said to live in this conceptualization center, the Ajna center, and it is all about the body and the unconscious. It is what other people will tend to notice about you first. It's also thought of as the life that you are here to actually live, because this is the physical part of you that is coded into the three-dimensional plane of Earth, of Gaia, where we live with each other. And then the third crystal of consciousness is the magnetic monopole. Now, the magnetic monopole and the design crystal come bundled together. Actually, what happens is that at the moment of conception, the father's sperm calls up from the mantle of the earth, just as it's leaving his body, a bundle of a design crystal and a magnetic monopole that have been living in the mantle of the earth. Gaia creates our bodies. She creates these design crystals that have the potential to be called up by the father's body in the moment of conception. The design crystal and the magnetic monopole are then, they are carried into the egg with the sperm, and the egg then begins to work with the design crystal and the monopole to create your body. This happens for about 6 months of the gestation process, until at about the start of the third trimester, which corresponds to the neocortex of the brain actually being ready to receive the consciousness of the personality crystal. At that point, the personality crystal is called into the body that's 6 months mature. The design crystal is then imprinted with the neutrino stream that was streaming through the body at that maturation point of 6 months. So that becomes the imprint of the body vehicle. And the personality crystal comes into the body at 6 months. It stays there for 3 months until the moment of birth, when it is then imprinted with the neutrino stream at the time of birth. Okay, I told you this is a lot of information, but what's happening is beyond what is going into your mind right now. This information is actually speaking to the part of you that knows this, the part of your body, the part of you that has been imprinted with this. And so there's something deeper going on here. So you can let go of grasping with the mind and just allow the information to come to you and speak to you on deeper levels. So what is happening is that these crystals, these esoteric metaphysical crystals, are actually then taking the imprint from the neutrino stream and they're transferring it onto our DNA. Okay, so here we're bringing it together. We had this supernova and these subatomic particles, and scientists conducting experiments to validate that there's mass in these tiny particles. Well, why? Why? Because there's something about the mind understanding that there is scientific soundness to this, because our DNA, as we know, it is actually an information structure, information storage in the form of codes to build proteins. That is what our DNA is. We know about the codes, we know about the codons of the proteins, or the amino acids, the thymine, adenine, the guanine, and the cytosine. I'm not sure that I'm saying those quite right, but these are the building blocks of our DNA. And we have known for some time, it's been in mass consciousness of humanity, that our DNA that is the code of our uniqueness, that we have unique DNA, right? And that the DNA is built up of these amino acids that are the building blocks. Well, human design has come along to say that the coding of these proteins actually comes from information that has been streamed at us by these neutrinos. It's first come into these crystals of consciousness that capture the information, and then it's coded into the information structure of our DNA. This is what information DNA is for. It is meant to be imprinted with information, and it's coming to us from the cosmos, from the planets, that information from the planets, where they are at that point that was 3 months, about 3 months prior to our birth. And then at our birth, the information of the planets is being programmed into the information structure of our DNA. Okay. And then from there, that information is represented in the body graph. That's that visual graphic that we're seeing. So now you understand that what we're actually looking at when we look at the body graph is we're seeing how the planets have programmed our DNA to create a conscious mind and personality and an unconscious body that are being held together by this magnetic monopole. It's a magnet that only attracts, monopole. It has one pole, it is only an attractive force. The monopole is holding together the personality and the body, the mind and the body, also known as the passenger, the vehicle, and then the driver that is holding the passenger and vehicle together and driving them through the life. That's what we're looking at when we look at the body graph. And it all has